Master the art of storytelling. Welcome back, everyone. This is Malik, your public speaking coach. I'm really excited for today's video because we will be discussing storytelling. So if you are someone that is trying to become a better speaker, you understand the importance of storytelling and how much people enjoy listening to them. So if you're trying to become a better public speaker, you need to be able to tell better stories. So that's exactly what I have for you today in this video. We will be going over 3 different things that you must follow in order to tell a great story. Now, there are tons of ways to tell amazing stories, but to get you started, and if you do these 3 things that I'm going to mention to you, then you are going to really excel at this art. Also, if you stay until the very end, I actually have 5 phrases, examples that you can use in order to start off your story to really hook and grab your audience. So stay tuned for that. That will be at the end. For those of you that don't know me, hi again. My name, like I said, is Malik, and I help people go from being shy, nervous, afraid of public speaking to becoming enigmatic, confident speakers who leave an impact on their audience. Also, if you are new to this channel, make sure you grab your free copy of my public speaking workbook, which goes over tons of great examples and things that you can do in order to become a better public speaker. I will leave the link down below for you to grab yours today. So let's get started on the art of storytelling. So let's actually talk about why it's so important to be able to tell stories to begin with. Stories are a great way for people to pass on a message from generations to generations. It's a great way for your audience to really be intrigued and try to understand what you're saying without you having to just blurt it out or put it in a boring format. Stories can be such an effective way to public speak. Not only that, but stories bring characters to life. They bring events to life, and stories, they really draw in an audience, which is why if you're trying to be a better public speaker, you need to be able to tell amazing stories in order to hook your audience and keep them guessing what's going to happen next. What's also really good about storytelling is that people might not remember anything from your talk, your presentation, or your speech, but if you give a very effective story, they will remember that for the rest of their lives. Think about it for a second. What is a story that you've heard? What were some things that you remember? Why did that story stick with you? Why is it that you can go years and years and still remember the story, but maybe not who you heard it from or where you heard it from? Stories in general are very impactful, and that is why we need to get better at telling them. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do in order to become a better storyteller. Okay, so the first and most important thing that you need to start doing when you are telling a story is adding a timestamp. So let me explain what that means exactly. So let's say, for example, you're telling a story about your childhood, something that may have happened to you in your childhood. Instead of just saying, when I was a child, this happened to me, put a timestamp on it. For example, give us an actual age. So you can say, when I was 8 years old, I remember that this and this happened. So for example, let's go back to when you were 8 years old. You want to describe what exactly was going on at that time. What was something significant that was happening or something that was very popular? For example, you can say, when I was 8 years old, I was sitting down and reading the comic. Hey, maybe some of you guys remember. It was, what was it called? Oh yeah, The Adventures of Tintin. How many of you here have read or remember reading about The Adventures of Tintin? You can also talk about something else that was popular. For example, this was a time when Beanie Babies were so popular and everybody in my class had them. You can even put a year to it. So for example, you can say something like, back in 2009, when Obama had just been inaugurated as the 44th president of the United States, this and this happened. The more you can mentally take your audience back to that time by describing little details of what was happening then, the better it is for you as a storyteller. This is because now when you mention, for example, in 2009, Obama's inauguration, everyone then starts thinking, oh, okay, 2009, that's when I was doing this. This is when that was happening. So it puts a picture in their mind of what exactly was going on at that time. And now they can actually mentally take themselves to that time to follow along with your story. So again, timestamps are a great way to start off your story. It's a great way to get your audience in that mental space in order for you to continue your story. So always start with a timestamp. How old were you? What was going on at that time? What was a special event that was happening maybe around the world that a general audience would remember? Think of a detail that specially happened. If you can, also pinpoint the year, 2009, 1980, whatever year it was. Say the actual year and say the date if you can. Number 2 on what you need to do in order to master the art of public speaking is to start giving as many details as you possibly can. So when I work with my clients, I ask them to tell me a story, and most of the time they will just say, oh, so when I was a child, my dog got sick. So that's how I decided I wanted to become a vet. I'm like, okay, that's it? That's all you've got? Tell me the details. What was going on at that time? What happened? When was your dog sick? How old were you? What were you doing in school at that time? Or how was it that your dog got sick? So let me give you an example of a better way to tell this story. So you can start off by saying, our dog was really the heart of the family. He was the fluffiest little thing. He was so cute. And the reason why we all loved him was because he was just so playful and loving. I remember when I was just 5 years old, I would be coming home and every day my dog would be looking out the window waiting for me to get off. And as soon as I would see him, he would start wagging his tail and I could see how excited he was to see me. At the same time, everyone in the bus would be looking at my dog and saying, oh my God, that's such a cute dog. That's such a cute dog. That dog was really the life of my childhood. So it's no surprise that when he got sick, it completely shattered me. And then you can add in more details and then eventually say, okay, that was the reason why I decided I wanted to become a vet. So you see how adding all those little details actually puts the person that's listening to the story mentally in that place. And now those details are making it more relatable because now I'm thinking about my dog. I'm thinking about, okay, a school bus. I'm literally picturing everything that's happening because I have all of these details. So in order to tell better stories, try providing as many details as possible. You don't need to go so deep into it that you're talking about the color of the sky or the weather, not those type of things, but you want to talk about things that are more emotional, right? For example, the dog was the heart of our family, or I used to come home from school and the dog would get excited. Talk about the emotions for the most part. Also, adding in these details really gives an audience a backstory onto what's going on. You don't just want to say, my dog got sick, right? It's very different than you saying, that dog was the life of our family. That dog used to be so excited when I used to come home. That dog was so happy. That dog was so fluffy. All those details bring that dog, that character to life. And that's exactly what you want to do by providing as many details as you can. Okay, so let's move on to the third thing that you must include every time you are telling a story, and that is to have a character to root for. So anytime you're telling a story, there must be a character that's going through some sort of trouble, some sort of challenge, something that they need to overcome, and the audience needs to be able to applaud and be excited to see them succeed. Think about every movie that you watch, think about every story that you read. There's always that one character, one main character that the audience is rooting for, and the audience is hoping to see that they will overcome whatever bump or whatever challenge that they're facing. It's your job to figure out who exactly that character will be. Is that character you? Is it a friend? Is it a dog? Who is that character? And you need to bring that character to life for the audience to feel one with them. So what's interesting is that even a villain can be the main character. Think about shows like Dexter, or for example, the movie Joker. It's the villain that we see the entire backstory of how he became the evil Joker that he actually is. The point is, he's still the main character, and as an audience member, you still feel for them, you still relate with them because you're seeing their struggle, you're seeing what they're going through, and that's what you need to do. You need to bring out that struggle. You need for an audience to really feel and understand the main character's pain points. Now, whether it's a good ending or bad ending, whatever it may be, your character needs to have a lot of depth to them, okay? So I need to sit here, and if I hear about your character, I need to feel something for them. And the only way to do that is, again, give those details, put a timestamp, put all three of these things together in order to bring that character to life and in order for me to really want to see that character succeed. Now, this is something I would definitely spend a lot of time on because your character has to be flawless. Not flawless in the sense that they have to be a good guy, but flawless in the sense where your delivery of the character needs to really draw in the audience because that's the person or animal or whoever it is that they're going to be following along. So those were the three things that you absolutely must include in your storytelling. Once you start doing just these three things, you will notice such a huge difference in the way that your audience is drawn into you and the way that they actually now want to listen to you. So tell those stories in this specific way, add in those characters, those details, add in that timestamp, and let me know how that works out for you. But before we continue, as I promised, I do have 5 phrases for you to start using when you actually start off your story because it's very important. That's when you're actually hooking your audience. So you want to make sure you're spending some time on that. So I put together 5 very generic ones so almost anyone can use them. I want you to start off your story using one of these 5 depending on what story you're telling and depending on what really applies. Okay, so let me read them off to you. So the first one that I have is, this one's very easy and probably the one that almost anyone can use. So when you start off your story, start off this way. Let me take you back to a time when I. The second one is, it all started the day that I had to. The third one is, one of the most compelling stories I've ever heard in my life is about. Number 4, have you ever been in a situation where? And number 5, I had no idea the events that were about to transpire when. So next time you are going to tell a story, try starting off your story by using one of these. I will list them down below somewhere so you can copy and paste them if you need to, so make sure you do that. Also, you guys, if you have any more suggestions on what kind of content you'd like to see, I am very open to that because I'm kind of running out of ideas and sometimes I just don't know what you guys want to hear or see. So please comment down below, let me know what other type of videos would be useful and helpful in order for you to become a better speaker. So do let me know in the comment section below. I read my comments and reply to them regularly, so I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I do post tons of videos about public speaking, how to be a better speaker, how to be more confident in yourself, and also we do a lot of fun things like analyze other people's public speaking skills. So if you have not already, make sure you subscribe and like my videos. So that is all that I have for you today. If you liked this video, do give it a thumbs up so I know that this is something you enjoyed watching and I can continue making more of these type of videos. So if you are again interested in becoming a better speaker, I have tons of videos that I will post right here for you to binge watch and learn more from. That is all for today. I hope to see you next time. Have an amazing day. This is Maria signing off. Bye.